Hey garden friends, this is April from Life's a Garden with April, and welcome to my August 2nd come harvest with me and garden tour. Okay, we're gonna start the tour coming off my deck, going out to my cucumber arch here, and you can see I have going on here. We got some cucumbers. That's pretty good. And usually in front here, I usually plant radishes, and then the row behind it, I usually plant carrots, and you can see there's a few stragglers that weren't ready to be picked yet, so I left them there. In this corner here, I usually plant onions, and same thing on the other side, onions, and they do very well. And this arch usually is snap peas in the beginning of the season, and then once it gets too hot, I pull them and the cucumbers take over. So it's great because I make use of the same spot. So when you have limited space, you have to do that for sure. Okay, here I have a little watermelon you can see growing there, and of course also more cucumbers that'll be coming up this way on this side. And in that corner I have a clematis growing up this twine. My vision that I was trying to do, I don't know if it'll work. It was like a small plants, but I did get a bunch of flowers, but I was hoping that it would go up this door, past it, into the garden on the other side, and I'll show you what I have going on over there. I have another clematis over there, so that was what my vision was, to give a little bit of privacy, and I just thought it would look pretty against the blue door. Okay, then here I have carrots. These ones are almost ready to be pulled, and once they come out, I will be replacing with broccoli and cauliflower, and then I have a second bin over there with more carrots in it, and that actually before was the broccoli and cauliflower. Okay, that's that. And this, I have a few beans in here, green beans in this little pot. I just pulled some of those. Here's a straw flower. They're pretty cool. And some more straw flowers. Zinnias. Pretty. They're my favorite. I threw a couple random sunflower seeds in here too, and they look like they're doing pretty good, so that might be nice for fall. I have some 4 o'clocks, some more straw flowers. Got some tomatoes going on here. Lots of tomatoes. Okay, so now I'm going to bring you out into the garden, the bigger garden, and this is my pruning bucket, my pruning shears, and my harvesting bucket. That's what I usually bring out with me. And okay, let's see, just some random flowers here. There's like a salad bowl that's kind of going to seed, so I have to replant. But here I have artichoke and a baby artichoke there, and got some Swiss chard over there, and yeah, just some flowers. Okay. All right, got some eggplants, some rosemary. I think we're gonna go, let's start the garden toward this way. Okay, so we have mint, some rosemary, some sage, some peppers, tomatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, and zinnias are all thrown in here. Oh, some snapdragons too. Okay. Some thyme, some chives, lots of basil. Okay, let's see. Okay. Then over here, this is what I call my tomato row. I'm crazy about. Oh, here's a little hummingbird. Hey, little guy. You see him? Hi. Oh, so cute. Okay, so here's tomato row. I love all sorts of tomatoes. And you can see everything's grown in pots. Here, take you down this way. I have some harvesting to do. These are Boston picklers. This way. You can see some hanging here. We got some onions. There's some more carrots. This here is my blackberries, but they're pretty much done for the season, but there's a few little stragglers. But this looks a little crazy over here because this is the first year I did really good with blackberries, and I need to it went kind of crazy, so I have to look up how to trim this because I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, because when you have a limited space, you can't let that get all out of control. Here I have some more green beans. Let's see. And here I have grapes. Grapes. There you go. This is like kind of new. In here I usually plant Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower is under there, but they're almost done. I do have some Brussels sprouts. See? Brussels, green beans. Let's see. Back here, you can see I have a pumpkin, little pumpkin growing, and butternut squash I see over there. You see that? This is I usually have a greenhouse cover on, and behind it I have usually a compost pile that at the end of, when in spring, when I fill up my pots and, use whatever I want, this year I raked it out, and I was just like, oh, you know what, I don't need this area so much. Let me just throw some winter squash and pumpkin seeds out here, and it worked really well. So I'm thrilled about that. In that back pot there is some okra. It's my first time growing that, so we'll see how that works. Okay. And here you can see watermelon. I'll take you over to that side and see. Okay. Let's see. This is my husband's grill. All right. And come in here. This is my chair where I can sit in the garden, relax. My favorite spot. Lots of tomatoes here. Tomatoes everywhere. Eggplants. This is my potting table that I can come out here and work without bringing dirt all on top of my deck. And yeah, it's nice. It's convenient. And okay, let's see, I got some more tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. I love tomatoes. Okay. So, coneflowers. Some more eggplants over here. There's a butternut squash. There's the watermelons I was telling you about. There's like a nice one getting big there. And another butternut squash over there. Oh, here's a little zucchini picante growing. Let's see what else. Okay, let's come back this way. Whenever I do these garden tours, I always like, oh, I forgot to show that. Okay, and this is the other section. Here's I have a zucchini picante grown here, nice big one. And then in here, these is pretty cool. I planted beans in here, and it worked great because it freed up my bottom space down there to plant something else, and it really worked well. You can see here's some red beans. So I got some Chinese noodle beans growing too. They're pretty cool. So yeah, so when you have limited space, you really do have to think outside the box, and it's really fun to do that. I like doing that. I see these lantern flies on my sunflower here. This sunflower is getting big, looks good. And let's see, a bunch more sunflowers. And let's see, more tomatoes. Right here, back here, more tomatoes. This is a bit of a little bit crazy back here. But that's the back. Yeah, look at this watermelon. That's a nice size. Okay, that's it. Oops, I just kicked something. Usually here I plant potatoes, but I already pulled them. I had a great harvest this year. This little section over here is kind of a mess because it's my asparagus, and I'm trying to let it fern out and establish better. And then I just have some wild flowers all thrown in there. I have to come over here and pick some of these. This tomato plant fell over, so I have to come harvest some of these tomatoes and prune that back some. But this section I kind of almost like leave it a little bit. I'm not too hard on myself about that. It's lots of peppers or eggplant. Let's see what else. And oh, the one thing I wanted to mention, as you can see here, these black trays that I have here, I'm gonna fill this one up, is for my little critter friends. Anyone that knows me knows that I have chipmunks, squirrels, and lots of birds in my garden. And as you can tell, they don't really bother anything. A lot of times they are looking for water, so I try to put fresh water out all the time and have that out all the time. And you can see those little bowls. I put sunflower seeds, peanuts, bird seed. I have a feeder in the back, and that really helps keep them from bothering anything. So if you have that issue, maybe give that a try. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's like this little hummingbird again. Check this out. Can you see him? I'll try to go close. I can't believe he's this close. Hey, little guy. Okay, you can tell I'm critter friendly. All right, and over here, I just want to show I do have peanuts growing in this bag, and I did pretty good last time. Not crazy amount, but I mostly just do it for fun, and I just give it to the chipmunks. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed the tour, and happy gardening to you all. And if you're like, well, this lady has tons packed in, I sure do, but it has, oh, this is strawberries too. I forgot to tell you, this is strawberries here. See, I knew I would be forgetting stuff when I stop. I also have sweet potatoes in the back. Darn. Sweet potatoes and raspberries. They're done now, but I have a bucket. Everything's in containers. So I do have a lot packed in, but I did a lot each year added something, and as I learn and experiment, it's a lot of fun. So if you're new to gardening and you're like, oh, I don't even know where to start, just start little and just do what you can with your space, and think about it. I never thought that I could have all this. I remember when I first seen cattle panels, I was like, I want a cattle panel. And I didn't think I would be able to fit them in my yard. And look at now. I know it's crazy. I know it's not for everyone, but this is a passion of mine. I love it. It's like my hobby. And I needed it to be not just a garden for food. I needed it to be my artistic expression, being able to, you can see I have my little farm friends and murals on the fence and whatnot. I like all of that, and you don't have to be into that, but just make it your own and look at your space and just try to think about it for a while. You'll come up with different things. Like I think I've said this before in a video, is like this. This was an old shoe rack that I used, and now I weave my blackberries in it, and it worked great. There's still some in there. There actually is still in there. Yeah, it worked out great. It held them up, so you don't have to spend crazy amount of money. And this for me, being that I'm a container gardener, if it gets too much for me, it's very easy to just do less, So yeah, so just try to think about it, and you'll figure it out. Okay, we're gonna harvest now. Let's take a view of this cucumber. It looks pretty big. And this one, these two, and oops. Hard to do it with one hand. Okay, let's see. Put my bucket up here. Okay, take this big tomato here. Like that. I think I'll take this one too. Okay. I love harvesting. Do you like harvesting your food? To me, it's like so rewarding and relaxing. Maybe it's because I do have that is a benefit of having a small space. I don't have to, go very far. I'm just right outside my house, and everything's right here. Yeah, let's see. That's pretty good. All right, let's see. I want to get these ones over here where this mess was. I know these were. Take a couple of these. I'm going to trim this all back because it kind of fell over. Okay, that's good for there. I think I'll take a couple of peppers. Here. I think I'll let that one fill a little bit. Okay. That. I've been saving up these Romas and San Marzanos for canning. So what I've been doing is once I'm picking them and bringing them in, or once they're all red, I throw them in the freezer, and then when I have enough, I'll do my canning. So I like to do that too. Let's see. Everything else is pretty good over here. Don't see but yellows. Yeah, so I never really thought about it, but that is another pro, is that it's very easy for me. Like a lot of people will say, oh, how long do you spend? Oh, there's Barry, little chipmunk. Hey, Bear, come here. My little chipmunk friend. Here, I got a peanut for you. I don't know if you've seen it. Okay. They'll say, oh, do you spend hours out in the garden? And I really don't. Everything is pretty easy. We don't have weeding, really much weeding, because, come here, Bear. Here. Yeah. There he is. Hey, Bear. Come get a peanut. There you go. We don't have much weeding because we put this mulch down all between everything. So it's like we put cardboard and then the mulch down, and so we don't really have weeding. Everything's in pots, so that's great, except for in the back. And that's probably why it is a little more a little more wild back there. But everything in containers really keeps you in control. And I prune a lot. I don't know if it's the hairdresser in me. I'm a hairdresser by trade, almost 40 years. So I don't know. If I see something that looks like it's dead, it's time. It's not going to get better. So I just take it off. I think it keeps your plants healthier. So I'm not afraid of doing that pruning. You're not going to really hurt anything if you just even go by, like if you're like, I don't know what to prune or whatever, but if you're just pruning off the dead leaves, they're not coming back, so you don't need to worry about that. There we go. Let's see what else. Let's get an eggplant. If that makes sense. So, but yeah, so it's really not hard to keep up. It's pruning, watering. This year, maybe in the future I would do some kind of irrigation, but I don't really even need it. This year we put the 4 hoses, so each little section in the garden has a hose, and I actually find it relaxing, so it's not really that hard. Okay. There we go. A couple of these. All right. Okay. That's pretty good for today. Look at this. Crazy, right? All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. And till next time, happy gardening.